Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wow Wednesday in the holiday season. As you can see, I am here today with my Santa hat on, and Sharon got the memo, and she's all ready for the holidays. And we want to take a moment to wish, oops, my hat fell off. What am I going to do? See, that happens sometimes. Go with it. There you go. That's better. Okay, got to be silly and fun during the holidays. We are here today to wish you the most joyous, wonderful, wow holiday season. Happy Hanukkah to all the people who are currently celebrating and those who celebrate Christmas. That's coming up over the weekend. And we're delighted to have you with us. Today, our guest, Sharon Massaadi, is going to be talking about how to create positive habits. And it's our habits that drive our actions that create the results in our life. So we're super excited to have Sharon with us today. We'll get started with Sharon in just a moment. And I want to make sure that you set up for success and happiness in what's remaining in 2022 and also heading into 2023. And we've come up with a system that we teach to all of our coaching clients that's helping them have their six-figure years, happiness, more clients, more people, more impact, more income, all of that. And we went through this in detail at our Level Up workshop. And I know several of you may not have been able to come, or you got a head start at Level Up and now you want to keep building on it, gaining momentum and really feel solid, strong, and inspired heading into 2023. So I am hosting 2 planning sessions, and these are going to be get or done times. We're going to pull out your inspired action plan, focus on your goal, mastermind and workshop really how to get that done this year. So you can register for that at womensprosperityNetwork.com/2023 plan. So 2023 plan is where you can register. I've got one happening today, December 21st at 4 p.m. Eastern, and then another one on Tuesday, the 27th. So give yourself and your dream the benefit of some inspired action plan. So join us for that session. And then welcome, Sharon. We are so grateful that you are here so we can create and maintain the positive habits that'll support this inspired action plan we're creating. So welcome, Sharon.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you, everyone, for this opportunity.
It is wonderful to have you with us. And let me share a little bit about your background, and then we'll dive into the conversation for today. Sharon Massaadi has a master's of education. She is a vibrant woman who's been teaching people of all ages, from the smallest child to elderly people and everything in between. She is available for tutoring, teaching, or counseling, and she also has a bartering system where people can trade for goods and services. Love that aspect. She's got a bachelor degree in human development, a master's of education, and is certified in life, happiness, and group coaching, meditation, and adult and children's counseling. She's a featured expert in the newly released book, Your Itty Bitty Amazing WPN Experts book. And today we're going to have a conversation with how to create and maintain positive habits. So I'm going to jump right in, my friend, because when I think about the world of creating the life that you love and what you really want, we can start off the day feeling positive and inspired, and then boom, something happens. How do we build these, create these positive habits? What are ways that we can step into our lives and have that structure in place?
So I want to say very, very slowly, because I'm the first one who will want to jump in and say, oh, Monday, I'm going to walk for 3 miles and I'm not going to have any sugar. That's it, the rest of my life. But you can't do that. It doesn't work. So unfortunately, so slowly is the best way. So one of the most important things is to have more time. And I'm going to tell you how you can do that. So you can get up just 15 minutes earlier in the morning, just 15 minutes so you're not rushing around. Now, at the end, it's best if you can get up an hour but we wouldn't do that the first day. So the first week, the most important thing is to find out what time you're getting up. May I see in the chat about what time people get up in the morning, please? Would you put what time you get up?
Awesome. So put in the chat what time you typically wake up. And if you're with us on Facebook, just go ahead and put it in the comments. So what time do you normally wake up? And I'll share. I normally wake up about 6 a.m.
6 a.m. That's a good time. And I know I feel sorry for people who are already waking up at 4 a.m. to take their child to hockey already, and they're saying to me, 15 minutes earlier, what is she talking about? To get to an hour, how will I do that? And I know I have a lot of compassion for that because the way life is now, it's really hard and we're all rushed. But if you can start the first week, your brain has to really accept this. So instead of even diving right in the first week, just find the mean time that you wake up. In the meantime, you go to bed at night. So what I mean by that is that every day you write, okay, 5 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and then you figure out, all right, you get up about 6 a.m. every day. Same thing for at night. If you go to bed 12 one night, 1 night, and 10, add it all up. So the first week, you're getting your brain to accept that you're going to be having a change because your amygdala inside the brain, we all heard about amygdala. It'll give off a warning system. No, we can't change anything. We're alive. Why would we change something that we're doing? So I get it, but so that's why it has to go very slowly. So the first week, just start getting accepted into changing. Then the next week, try it. 15 minutes earlier going to bed and 15 minutes later. Now, if at night, if you're working, up until 11, I really understand. If you're watching TV, I beg you to please understand. They call it programming for a reason. For every right, for every extra hour that you watch television, you gain a certain amount of weight and you get a little bit more depressed. And this is coming from someone who used to wake up, put on the TV before anything and have it on until nighttime, going to bed the last minute. So I understand people can actually get addicted to television because it feels good and you don't have to do anything, just sit there. And but the thing is, it's not good for you, and it programs you to buy more stuff, programs you to feel jealous of others, to be very hungry. I know the food commercials affect me like crazy. I want to eat things that I don't even like because they make it look so good, like a juicy hot dog. I don't even like hot dogs, but if I see it, you bet. Does anybody have a weakness for any kind of food you see on the commercials yourselves?
Yeah.
I'm interested to know. I know chocolate and sweets, yes, that's a lot of women's downfall because, the way our tongues are, that we used to be gatherers and we have a good sense of taste. So you didn't poison the family, but that's turning back on us now, unfortunately. And we just want to taste all kinds of sweets and candies and goodies. They really know what we like, and they put salt, fat, and sugar and mix it up. So
it is addictive. So, I think that you were talking about watching TV can be addictive, eating those sweets can be addictive, sleeping too much, like all of those pieces are not healthy habits, right? So today's conversation is all about how do we switch? How do we create those new positive habits? And I'm curious, and then we'll talk a little bit more, but you said you used to turn the TV on in the morning, leave it on till late at night. What was your wake-up call, or how did you switch?
I read a lot of books about habits, and they said that you're not even thinking. You're just doing it, like it's programmed. You know how you tie your shoes and you know how to do it? Well, the same thing. You become, they say 90% of what you do all day is just habit. You're
Right,
just
on
getting up and
autopilot. Yeah.
autopilot. That's correct. So we want to change this little by little. So every week, 15 minutes, um, get up the next week for 15 minutes earlier. And if that's okay, your body's adjusted. The next week, you can try for another 15 minutes, or it could be 2 weeks later, whatever your body needs to adjust. So then you can make a schedule. And I know that seems boring and a pain, but I promise you, 10 minutes to 15 minutes of making a schedule. And so what that entails is that from the morning when you wake up on Monday, say 6 a.m., to when you go to bed, say 10, you every hour you write down what you're going to do. If you don't control your schedule will control you. So you have to write down every hour for 7, 8, 9, 10 until you go to bed. Fill that in. It's once you do it, it's you be surprised at what you can at what the time you can get hours.
Look at, she's even got a Christmas mug.
Yeah.
Aren't with us on video. I'm wearing a Christmas hat. Sharon's got on a Christmas sweater. She's drinking out of a mug that looks like a gingerbread house or something.
Yeah, and I feel bad, during the Christmas holidays, that's why people end up starting on January 1st, because nobody wants to start these kind of things on the Christmas holidays, and I understand that. But you'd be so happy if you spent the 10 minutes trying to make that schedule. You'd find hours here by 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. And also, a budget is a really good thing to do so that you're not in the habit of doing things. So if you every morning you have a $7 Starbucks and a $5 muffin, and you're just in the habit of doing that, if you make a budget, which is another thing, people think it's going to be a lot worse than it is. Once your body actually thinks it's pain. When you try to do something like change, your body actually makes like a pain in you. So you really don't want to start. But once you start, you know how it is. It gets a lot better. So once you write the budget, you're going to be so happy. And I know that what caused me to not want to do my budget is because I was scared. It's scary to think, well, what if I don't have the money for this? What if I don't have the money for that? We're all very scared about that. That's human and natural. But if you make a budget, you're going to be less in the habit of doing just using your credit card to just swish, buy anything that you want anytime.
And because everything is digital, money, and it doesn't feel real some of the time. So I want to take a moment and recap. Sharon has given us 3 powerful tips so far to create and maintain healthy habits. And when we talk about healthy habits, I love, Sharon, that you're giving us a well-rounded approach to health, starting with our physical health. Wake up 15 minutes early, maybe do some walking or something like that. Wake up 15 minutes early so that you can take control of your time by working out how you're going to spend your time that day. And then thirdly, how are you going to spend your money that day, creating the budget? So we're here for a prosperous, well-rounded, amazing life. And we get to control what that is. I think one of my favorite things you said today is if you don't control your schedule will control you, right? Same thing with your money, same thing with your time. Today's conversation about creating and maintaining healthy habits is about really taking back your power and recognizing where you think there's pain. And if you just get into action on it, it's going to be better. I love it, Sharon.
Well, thank you. And we do have to prioritize. So that's a thing when we make our schedule and our budget, is to prioritize what is the most important. So write down first what you think is the most important things you do for the day, and then go down. So obviously on the very end of your list, you're going to have 3 or 4 things that are not the most important things. And sometimes it could be something silly as you just don't have time to make the bed. You have to jump out and go. And you can't, as a lady, you can't feel guilty about that. When 1950, everybody was home and our house looked perfect at that time. But these days, it's not the case all the time. So we have to do what we can. If things don't look like a 1950s household, we must not feel guilty. We don't really have the time. So prioritize things that are the most important for the health of you, your family, and exercise is another thing. But most people don't understand that really 15 to 20 minutes a day could really help. And I'm really serious. If you have to start the first few months, just 15 minutes, there's cortisol inside us, which makes us have fear. Exercise makes that dissipate inside our bodies. It just goes out with the exercise and we get good feelings instead. So you wouldn't believe it. If you end up doing 15 minutes a day, getting up earlier, and then another 15 minutes, so you could make that first 15 minutes just exercise. It will 100%, if you exercise 15 minutes, 6 times a week, I promise you, you'll feel so good. You know, it doesn't have to be a lot. So you have to come up with the end in mind. What are your goals? So that's another thing, that you write your goals. What are the most important things for me? What are the most 3 important for my money, for my family, for my life? What do I want to do? What about my job? Am I happy in my job now? If not, and I know one time I was unhappy with my job and I was working long hours and I said, how am I going to do this? But just 15 minutes a day on Indeed, and you're going to find that when you do your schedule, just 15 minutes a day on Indeed, and you will find something better. And if you have to take an online course, your skills need to always be developed. So that's another thing to prioritize, is that how can I make my skills better? What kind of skill can I get? And even though this is not 1950, you'd be surprised at how much money you can save if you do things by scratch. And some things could be very easily done by scratch. You can invest in things like I invested in a bread machine, which is not that expensive. And you just dump the things in and press the on button.
You got bread.
Yeah, and it's much cheaper, and you see what you are putting in it, not blah, 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 that you can't even read or understand. You see what you're putting in, whole wheat, a tiny bit of salt, but, yeast. So you're in control. I like the way Nancy said that. You'll be much more motivated when you're the one in control. You have to be proactive. Because again, if you don't schedule, your schedule is going to come back on you, and other people are going to say, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. Don't forget, that's a very good excuse when you have that schedule with you, that no, I can't do it. At 3 o'clock, I have to go to the gym. Nobody can make you feel guilty. They can't say to you, pick up my kid at 3 o'clock, do me a favor. Well, no, I go to the gym at 3 o'clock and I'm prioritizing my health, and that's just not an issue. It's
really
a no-no. Yes.
So I love that you're really breaking everything down to its simplest forms so that we can have our best life. I'm just curious, if you're here with us, whether you're on Facebook or here on Zoom, how many of you want to live your most happiest, best life? So put in the chat, I do. And what gets in the way of that sometimes? What gets in the way of that is we think we don't have enough time. We don't have enough money. There's so many demands on us. Things are out of control. So I'm going to recommend you all go back and re-listen to this. And Sharon has given us tips, small tips, and being able to take these little incremental steps will make all the difference in your life. And you got to start somewhere. So I love that you give us a simple starting place for whichever area of your life you're in. So take a look, which is the area that you're not having the best results. You know, if it's in your health, commit to that 15 minutes. If it's in your mindset, right, it's that 15 minutes that you're going to devote to something positive or inspirational. If it's in your business, maybe there's a skill that you want to go ahead and pick up and learn. So Sharon, amazing.
Yes, and motivation is highly overrated. Studies have shown it's your environment that's the only thing that really matters. So if you put your sneakers right next to your bed with your workout clothes, you just shove them on and put your sneakers on and grab your bags, you know, with your clothes in it for the day, then you can head out. So put everything, don't put, you know, cookies on the table. They're not good for anybody. I know that we feel guilty when we don't have whole baked goods for our husband, our children, but you don't have to have it right on the table. Put them away, put them in the pantry or someplace in the closet. Don't see them. Don't keep candy at your desk. Don't make it difficult for yourself. Motivation is overrated. You have to fix your environment. And the most important thing too is you have to think of yourself as the person. People think that you change from the outside in. It's the complete opposite. So if you want to be a person who goes to the gym, you consider yourself an athlete and you tell yourself that every day. I'm an athlete. I'm an athlete. What does an athlete do? An athlete goes to the gym. And so that's what you do. So I'm a great worker. I'm a great worker, you say to yourself every day. And what does a great worker do? They bend over backwards to do the little things at the office that maybe before it wouldn't matter to you, but you might do a favor for someone in the office and help somebody, and they might help you sometime. So you have to seek to understand others and fix your environment to make it so that you're not tempted every day and that you have everything ready for the things you have to do, your online class, anything. Think of yourself as a scholar, as an athlete, and then it'll come for the outside. Just ask yourself, what would a scholar do? Well, they would go to school. They would read instead of watching TV.
This is amazing. I'm seeing people saying this is a wake-up call. I do exercise. My clothes are by the bed. Oh, and now I get to improve this area. So this is beautiful that in this holiday season, in this time where we're reflecting on the past year, Sharon is giving us such clear-cut, simple ways to set ourselves up for success. And to me, success is I am happy, healthy, feeling free in all the ways that matter to me. That's what success is. I feel good. I'm happy. I've got prosperity and abundance in all areas of my life. These tips are amazing. Simple yet profound. That is right, Pastor Darlene. Awesome. Sharon, what else would you like to share with our audience today before we open up for some question and answer?
So I also do tutoring. Right now, I have been working full-time as a favor for my boss, but I usually do tutoring as well. So I have a deal for you. Usually my tutoring is $50 an hour. I tutor any age. I've been a teacher for over 25 years, from 4 years old to I've taught college for 4 years, elderly. So whatever, the only thing I can't do is physics kind of math. Otherwise, I'm offering an hour for $25, and I have a coupon. So it's teacher tutor with 2 T's, and you can get it for $25. So if you have a grandchild, a child, somebody, a neighbor that you think could be helped by this, it will explain also that I would do a bartering system, that if someone needs my help and I need their help, we could trade. I know that would be harder for people who are not around me, but otherwise we could work something out if they didn't have the money. And it would be online tutoring, so it doesn't matter where you're from. If you think there's any teenager, child in your life that could try an hour of tutoring, they could try it. And if they can't spend the money, like the $50 an hour, I would work with them.
So thank you for that. And so go to the website is happybestlife.com and just explore her services. And you can use the coupon code teacher tutor with a capital T in both places. What type of tutoring is it that you do?
Well, I'm an English teacher, but I've also been a one-on-one with children with special needs. And I do literacy, reading, writing, history, geography. I can do any kind of math up until algebra. Beyond that, not really. But otherwise, I do all ages and all kinds, because I worked for LearnWell, going to children's houses who may be sick or suspended or for home for some reason. And I've taught all ages, like really anything. And if you want a coupon for something else, I did make that for the for that one thing, but I'm just going to put my email. If you want another coupon for anything, just ask me, just tell me what you can pay, and I will work with you, because you know, I was very depressed at one time, and I'm prone to depression. And I worked myself out of it. And lately I've been extremely busy, and I did have to cut some things out to keep healthy, because I'm prone to being overwhelmed. And that's why I'm giving you these tips too, because I don't want you to be overwhelmed. But I would like to help you out if I can. They're going to be cutting my hours right after Christmas, and I'll be able to work with you.
Beautiful, beautiful. So much generosity, such valuable tips. To get in touch directly with Sharon, if you want to explore her other services or want a coupon code for something, she's generously offered that today. So let me share her email address, which is Sharon Massaadi @gmail.com. And that is Sharon, SHARON, Massaadi, which is MASSAADI @gmail.com.
Thank you. Everybody gets that wrong. Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah, not me. You taught me well. You can also go to her website, happybestlife.com, and work with her further if you have children or grandchildren who need support in getting those grades up a little bit and feeling better about it. You know that she's the best tutor for that. And I'm so grateful that you're here with us today. Let's go ahead and we'll open up questions, insights, ahas that you'd like to share. Go ahead and hit *6 if you're on the telephone, or unmute yourself and raise your hand if you're here with us on the computer. We'd love to hear from you and how the tips that Sharon shared today, you're going to go ahead and put some of them into practice. So let's check in. Barb Ellison. You should be able to talk. There we go.
Okay, Sharon, this was absolutely amazing. I'm studying a book called Atomic Habits of why habits are so important. This was just like the icing on the cake, because of just a couple of things that have been kind of going around in my head. But you nailed it. I'm going to listen to this again. Just a couple of the things of the mental stuff, that I'm an athlete. What do athletes do? They exercise. They go to the gym. And so that has been like, because that's one of the things, I have to admit, I've been a little bit less than stellar in. So this was great. perfect timing, and for perfect timing for the first of the year, for this end of the year,
Right?
going into the first of the year.
Yes, yes. And that's what you do all day. Like, think, even when you come across fudge cake, what would you do? Would they eat that, or would they bring something good for themselves?
Or would a healthy person eat that? Because like I'm surrounded by cookies and candy and oh brother.
Ooh, that would kill me.
Yesterday somebody gave me some and I brought them home and gave them away. I gave them away.
Oh,
and that was huge for me. I gave them away.
Nice. Yeah, that's very difficult. You should pat yourself on the back for that.
It was.
Yeah.
It was like I gave it away.
Awesome.
That's great.
So this was perfect timing. Thank you.
That's what a healthy person would do, Barbara.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. So good. Awesome. Thank you, Barbara. And kudos to you. Let's go ahead and open up for Vanessa Donaldson.
Hi, ladies. Oh, you're in my space, wellness and fitness and health. I love it. Thank you so much, Sharon. I would add doing the van life. It's really tight space and it's really hard because everything that goes in the van pretty much goes in your mouth. So when you're living on the road, you don't want to bring it home in your kitchen if you have a full house. Once it's in your kitchen and it's in your cupboard, you're probably going to grab it. So the first step is even, wouldn't you agree, just like not even buying it and getting it into your house. So imagine putting it in the van. Like if it's in the van, I'm going to find it. There's only so much space in a 24-foot van and it'll end up in my mouth. So yeah, it's that struggle already at the aisle in the supermarket to tell myself, do I need to buy this for myself or do I pass it up and go to the fruit and veggie section? That kind of decision to start with before it even gets in the house.
Absolutely. I agree with you. The only thing, some people have big guy teenagers that are athletes that need more calories, and say like a husband who does construction. So they might ask for cookies and they're able to eat the 10% of cookies and stuff like that. However, I would say to get everyone involved on maybe a Sunday for making fruit bars, and there's all kinds of things that seem like goodies, but they're a lot more helpful for you. So yes, I agree. And instead of the Chips Ahoy, is if there's any way you could make something better for your family. And I agree. Yeah, your kids, your husband doesn't need the things with all kinds of preservatives in it. And I know you don't have much time, but if you make it like a family thing, it might help. Just 1 hour, again, you schedule something that's your priority. So if it's a priority that Sunday night, everybody gets together, we think about the food for the week, we all help each other, that would be really a great thing.
That's excellent. Yes, thank you. I'm empty nester season now, so it's just
Me
two
too,
people, but definitely
too.
I love that too for the family. Good add-on tip. Thank you so much, ladies.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Vanessa, for all you do and the space you hold for people to reset and create their best lives. So you're awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Again, you want to go to happybestlife.com and to get Sharon's tutoring services for anyone that you know at half price. You'll use the coupon code teacher tutor, all one word, and a capital T for both of those words. And if you have a question, comment, want to share today, please do ahead, raise your hand, unmute yourself. And I see Barbara Johnson is in the house. Good morning, Barbara.
Good morning. So I have a question. I have a teenager, 16. He has an IEP, so I know he has learning things here or there, but he's very stubborn. And he tries to get anybody I get to tutor him to give him the answer instead of help him learn the answer. Are you good? I mean, I don't, are you good at dealing with someone like that?
Very much so, because I've dealt with a lot of them. So, first I pretty much befriend them. I talk about whatever they want to talk about and kind of sneakily start, weaving my magic, because first, there are a lot of tutors out there who are very authoritarian. And some of the teenagers have complained to me that they would bust in the door and say, oh, you don't even have a job in the afternoon? Or another tutor had yelled at somebody because their book bag was messy. And I said, why? That's none of their business. And the kid said, exactly, it's not. So there are some teachers who are out there who are very authoritarian. And I'm not like that. I'm willing to, do half and half. I'm willing to be a friend and listen to what their problems are, listen to why they don't want to do things, and say, okay, if you don't like that, how about we do this? And I always got a good reaction. I've never had anybody who I couldn't tutor so far.
Wow,
No, that's good. I just know starting next semester, he's going to need help. And that starts, beginning of the year. So I'm definitely going to keep your information because if
I
you
would
can,
love to.
that would be great.
Yeah, try it. And, it's for only $25 for the hour. And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't. But I really believe I can help them. And again, if the $50 was a problem, we could work it out amongst ourselves.
Not a problem. Sounds good. Thank you very much, Sharon.
Thank you, Barbara, for bringing that up because it triggered a question for me. What about students who are, maybe have resistance to learning? They don't really care about their grades. How do you get them inspired and motivated to want to do the work?
You might not be able to get them inspired and motivated to do that, but there's always something they like. And you could reward them with that, even if you have to. It just has to be rewards like, okay, you can use the car on Friday night if this and that. Always at the end, it does come down to behaviorism where, something really great's going to happen if they do what you say. And it might not be so great if they don't do what you say, don't listen to you. You always have something really great. And I wouldn't say you be a best buddy to the kid, but you do have to be very friendly and have a good relationship with him. You say no when you need to, but being close with them is something that helps a lot, and getting to know why do they do these behaviors. And I know when you have a child with special needs, it's not easy because they could want to do the opposite of everything. It's not their fault, and you feel bad about that. So you could make a kind of system where they get all kinds of great things because they can't see it now. They can't see that, okay, my good grades are very important. I couldn't when I was younger. Now I could see, and they will see one day. But for now, it's going to have to be that they could have a couple of hours on the computer or in video games or something. If they want their video game, don't forget, even though you're their friend, you're the boss of the house. They can't eat, they can't sleep, they can't get dressed. They without you, because you're buying the clothes, you're buying the bed, you're the master, not the master, but like you're in charge. You're in charge, even up till they're 18. And if they live in your house, they could be 25 and you're still in charge because that's your house. If you're paying the bills, that's your house. And they're lucky because if they had to go and someplace else, they tell them, oh, try. You could have that as an exercise. Let's see, because some kids say, as soon as I'm 18, I'm going to leave. And say, yeah, that's great. Let's see how you're going to pay for this. And write down all the stuff they have to pay for and let them see how grateful they should be to be living in your house under your roof.
This is so good. Parents and grandparents like me listening in. So this is great, great advice. Again, go to happybestlife.com to work with Sharon, or you can email her directly, Sharon Massaadi at gmail.com. And that is Sharon, Sharon, Massaadi, which is M as in Mary, ASSAADI at gmail.com. Let's go ahead and open up for Laura Barker.
Good morning, Sharon. You're one of my absolute favorite people. I have had the pleasure of working with Sharon really for quite some time now. And I just have to say, you do have the biggest heart of anyone I know. But when you couple that with the work that you do in being able to help teenagers, I mean, we all can agree, I think, that that's like one of the toughest populations to work with. And I love how you come at it from, it's a household issue, right? It's not just the one kid. Everybody has to get involved in having a peaceful household. And Sharon, anybody who has a child, a grandchild, anybody who is even just like keeping them after school, right? They have to learn boundaries. They have to learn how to set those things up. And I know you have the tools, and I don't really have a question for you because I know what you do. I know how you do it, and you are absolutely amazing. I'm so happy you were here this morning. And folks, look, if you have a child in your life or even a grandparent or a parent that you're caring for, right, Sharon, that, there are issues, so relationship issues. Sharon's amazing. And I'm just so thrilled to see you here. $25 per time with Sharon. Oh my gosh, are you kidding? So book that call if that's something that is appropriate for your life, because you will not regret it.
Sharon, thank you so much. And I've been not only a teacher for many years, but I've been a counselor too. And anytime my son's friends came, they came here to talk to me first before they would even go upstairs. And all the time they would be a half hour late for him. But I just want to be clear, all of you who charge money per hour, you deserve what you get. And I'm not saying I don't, but I just have a soft spot for the kids. I've been teaching adults for a few years now, and I miss the children so much. And I just want to be a help. Once my other hours go, I'm going to be able to do that, and which is very soon. So I just want to say I don't mean to demean anybody else who's charging by the hour. I think that you should keep, if it's $250 an hour, $300, you should be able to keep it. I'm just have a soft heart for the kids. And I read all the time about how even in AARP, they said there's a crisis with the kids. There's many more suicides, more drugs. Sorry, I'm looking at myself.
That's all good.
But yes, I would like to help, and I'm not saying I'm not worth the money. I'm just saying that I think that we could work it out, and even in bartering, if I get something back. I love books. I love Lego, Duplo. So you just never know.
Sharon, when you're tutoring, and I see, everyone here has some family member with a teen involved. So the wheels are spinning. Vanessa said, I already texted my brother to see if he wants tutoring for his nieces. And the children are our future. We all know that. I'm curious, when you're doing tutoring, how many hours per week or month are we looking at for you to have the best impact?
So do you mean for each individual person?
Yeah. So if I was to hire you to tutor my grandson, for example, what does that look like over a month? About
8 hours. And yes, it's true, I should put a package up, and that's why.
I know, yes. That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Us long enough to know packages are good.
Right. I thought of this not too long ago, but yes, because I've been working for such long hours, but yes, I actually have some time off during the vacation, and I will put a package together so somebody wouldn't have to spend $50 an hour. They could just get a whole package.
And that's why I was wondering, how many hours per month or per week does the child need to fit in their schedule? And then I need to fit in my budget to be able to provide for that.
Right. I would say about 8 hours if I saw him twice a week, he or she. And so twice a week would be great. And I could make a package like that would be fair for everything.
Well, come to the planning session this afternoon or on the 27th, and we'll get all of that mapped out for you.
Yes, I have to work this afternoon, but I think I'll be able to come to the 4 o'clock.
Perfect. Perfect. I'll see you this afternoon. And by the way, if you joined us late, this afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern, as well as on December 27th in the morning, I'm hosting a Get Her Done 2023 planning session. So we're going to take your goal, help you create it if you haven't yet, formulate it, and then map out a plan for 2023 that feels good. Right. And then backing it up with some of the habits you picked up from Sharon today that'll support you. And here's the question, just like you say, if I am an athlete, I am the person who achieved this goal. Okay, what would that person do today? Would that person take a 4-hour lunch or watch TV for 3 hours during the day? Probably not. They might get on social media and engage. They might go ahead and schedule a webinar. Like, all of it ties together. So what a beautiful compliment to everything happening. So go to womensprosperinetwork.com/2023-plan, and you can join us for the session either this afternoon or Tuesday. Sharon, anything else you want to share before we wrap up today?
Any questions? Someone could just email me. I'd be very happy to just take the time to answer your questions.
Oh, beautiful. So email her, Sharon Massaadi at gmail.com. And Massaadi is spelled M as in Mary, ASSAADI.com. Thank you for pouring into us and giving us so much goodness today. I appreciate you, Sharon, and I'm sending you abundant blessings for the entire holiday season into the new year.
Nancy, it's Aurelia. I just got home. I have something I'd like to add to what Sharon does. It appears that you've got people that are already fans and looking into getting tutoring for their children. And I just want to add to those that may be on the edge that a lot of times, well, actually all the time, whatever a parent tells a child is a no-go. But if someone else comes in, such as Sharon, with a generous, wide open heart, that child is going to be much more receptive to what that individual shares, number one. Number two is, this is also, in a very general sense, coaching, because you're holding someone accountable without the parent authority figure. So yeah. I highly invite anyone that's interested in getting improvement for their child, grandchild, or even friends to reach out to Sharon. And I've always said this, and this is true. We can see it. Everything is energy. So the energy that Sharon is putting out without having to justify is one of a very generous, contributory nature. Mm-hmm. If that's something that interests you and that calls your attention, please reach out to her. I've got a friend whose child is ADD, ADHD. So I'm going to talk to her to see if she needs any type of coaching or tutoring. And I'm just so grateful to Sharon that she sees a need in the community and feels it. This is how we improve things across the board in the world and in this country. A lot of us have in mind, I want to improve the world. I want to do this, that, and the other. But it really starts with our community, and it starts with the children, because we're going to be gone at some point. Maybe, hopefully not soon. The children will remain, and what we teach them now is what remains with them, and they carry out. So I'm so grateful to you, Sharon, for the work that you're doing, and thank you for showing us your heart and your true nature, and for your offers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
You can feel it. Sharon
Yes.
emanates this love. Aurelia's echoing it. Let's get out there and give our children the best opportunity to be who they want to be, unencumbered, and moving forward in a positive way by them having healthy habits and us having habits that support them and support us. That was beautiful. Sharon, thank you so much for being with us today. Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you so much for your opportunity. It really did a lot for me to be here with you wonderful people. Thank you.
Awesome. Beautiful. Everyone out there, have an amazing, beautiful day. Enjoy this holiday season. tune in, jump online with me for one of these 2023 planning sessions. I promise it'll be fun, and we'll get you supported in living what you want for the end of 22 and then into 2023. Have a beautiful day, everyone.
See you
Bye.
tomorrow. Bye.